The art community here is wonderful, and I don't think I could continue if I didn't have all of this kind of halo of support around me. We moved here in 1987, coming from suburban Chicago, and before that we were in New Mexico, and before that in New York City. So we finally kind of settled here and have been here longer than I kind of can believe. Mike and I have been together since I was 21. So it's a long time of growing together, and we raised 3 children, and Mike's joy in my creations, it makes it even more fun. I kind of jokingly call him my manager. I had several people in my life who were very close to me died, some of them rather tragically. I had been a poet for 40 years. I just couldn't write. I couldn't, words were not coming. So I was kind of in this limbo space for a while, and I started doodling from a little Walter Foster How to Draw book. And my husband, who's been a great champion of my art, really liked it. And so I think with that little bit of encouragement, I started doing every lesson in the book. Eventually I found a teacher, I found a group of artists that were very supportive, and it just has developed from there, and to the point where I kind of can't get enough of it now. Well, certainly up to now I've done a lot of landscapes, and I have been working a little bit more and more with modeling and with figures. And so I want to put a bird in the picture or a person in the picture. I'm particularly interested in the way the human interaction with the landscape, whether it's urban or natural. Each of my paintings is my baby, and I just want that baby, that child, to grow in the best way they can. And so that's kind of what drives me. Very shortly after I started attending an art class, just at a local barn, an art show came up for women, and someone in the group really encouraged me to apply and submit some things. I did, and I got into the show. And I just found it was such a blast to be there with all these artists and see what other people were doing and talk about art. Shortly after that, I began to seek out other venues and joined our North Shore Arts Alliance. And eventually I ended up in a show in New York, and that was kind of a thrill, having spent so much time as a young'un in galleries and museums in the city. I just finished a book on Caravaggio, and I love the deep, dark tones that he uses. I'm still always fascinated with Van Gogh and Rodin. People like Georgia O'Keeffe, these people were big influences. I love the browns. There's kind of an endless variety of browns one can make. Coupling them with some blues, some yellows, it's really nice. And sometimes even reds, and mixing a lot of red with them. You know, the transparency of the yellows is lovely for glazes and, of course, mixing. This is a French cleat. We're making a French cleat. So what would happen is you can simply hang this. It hangs very nicely on 2 screws. It's very sturdy, of course. The bottom piece that we made is just to keep it away from hitting the wall. And we'll put screws on as well. And I want to make sure that it's straight on the line that I already measured, 4 inches down from the top. But the wall then would have a cleat, and it would fit right in there very nicely. Primarily acrylics these days, but you never know. I change it up. I don't think I'll ever be just in one genre of materials, mediums, or styles. I spent a lot of time last fall with clay and figure modeling, but now I'm moving back to my painting with acrylics. We live in a cold climate, so our windows are closed, and I really don't like the fumes of oil and turpentine. I do get up in the morning and say, oh, I've got to paint, but that doesn't always happen. I, on the other hand, kind of get more energy as the day goes on, and I'm often up till midnight. Oops. But let's say I'm ready to start a new canvas. I'll go through my photographs, find something that really kind of grabs me. And so transferring it, trying to print it of the size that would be proportionate to whatever canvas I'm using. And then I will usually put grid lines, plumb lines on the picture as well as on the canvas, just to get some ideas of where I'm at. What I've been doing lately is I will also put tick marks on the outside of the canvas, and that will cue me in to where I'm at on the piece. I want to express emotion and kind of the energy of things, and I believe that not only life, but all objects have an energy. So now I'm putting more of my energy into studying and into really trying to learn as much as I can while I can. But of course, as I continue working in new mediums, my hunger just kind of grows and grows. I'm in a constant state of learning and growing, and I hope I continue to be that way until I die, until I'm no longer here.